Part 62. The Best Physiognomist. Author, Yanyun Yuchi. Chapter 611. Yukai School. When countless evil ghosts, evil spirits, evil spirits, evil spirits, and evil spirits began to invade the school, some upright teachers who stayed in the school fled to the school gate with most of the students. But when they came to the flower bed about 30 meters away from the school gate, they were completely frightened by the scene in front of them. Dozens of fierce ghosts with red faces and fangs, a dozen hideous and ugly evil spirits, and 9 huge demon spirits completely blocked the exit of the school gate. At the same time, 3 ugly evil spirits were devouring the security guard guarding the school gate. Quack. Hiss. Ugh. When they saw hundreds of fresh and delicious delicacies with strong yin and yang appearing in front of their eyes, the evil ghosts, evil spirits, and demon spirits all made strange screams of excitement. Retreat, retreat to the teaching building, seeing the dozens of monsters blocking the school gate, starting to approach step by step, a strong physical education teacher quickly shouted to hundreds of teachers and students. Since the flower bed was only more than 20 meters away from the teaching building, fearing that the delicious food would escape, a giant black python with a body length of more than 20 meters suddenly accelerated and launched an attack. Just when the black giant python rushed behind the 2 beautiful female students and opened its bloody mouth to devour them, a golden sword energy suddenly shot out from the flagpole 9 meters away. Puff. The golden sword energy shot into the black python's mouth as fast as lightning. Boom. After the golden sword energy penetrated the entire head of the black python raised its body and fell heavily to the ground. Then its huge body struggled a few times, and finally died motionless. The sudden appearance of the golden sword energy and the black giant python that was instantly obliterated not only stopped the approaching fierce ghosts, evil spirits, and demon spirits, but also hundreds of teachers and students who turned around and fled, also turned around and looked at them. Flagpole. As everyone paid attention, a golden light gradually appeared on the surface of the originally ordinary flagpole. As the golden light emanating from the flagpole became more and more dazzling, a golden giant over 3 meters tall, wearing armor and holding a giant sword, slowly walked out of the golden light. When he saw the clear appearance of the golden armor giant, he Dongjian, the monitor of Class 7, Grade 3, couldn't help but make a sound of surprise. Dongjian, what's wrong with you, Gu Yingying, the head teacher of Class 7 of Grade 3 and known as the most beautiful teacher in Yukai School, asked quickly. Mr. Gu, this golden armor giant looks exactly like the young man who broke into our classroom to catch ghosts the night before yesterday. He Dongjian pointed at the monster step by step, with a look of excitement in his eyes. If it weren't for his skin color and height, this giant in golden armor would definitely be the big brother. He Dongjian's explanation immediately attracted the attention of other students in Class 7, Grade 3. A girl wearing glasses nodded and agreed after careful observation. That's right. That's right. At the same time, other students who had personally experienced the ghost exorcism incident also agreed. The monitor's explanation and the students' support immediately made Gu Yingying become very interested in the appearance of the golden armor giant. She walked around to the west side of the flagpole and began to carefully observe the golden armor giant. Ignoring the comments coming from behind, and not paying attention to the beautiful teacher's attention, the golden armor giant holding a huge sword suddenly swung the sharp sword in his hand when he was still 9 meters away from the many monsters, and a golden sword light struck him directly. To evil spirits and evil spirits. The golden armor giant was formed by the fusion of Zhang Fenjai's own blood and Taoist silver needles. Not only did he have the consciousness to fight the enemy independently, but he also possessed nearly 70% of his body's strength, which was the peak cultivation level of the 6th level of the foundation period. The dozens of fierce ghosts only have the cultivation level of the chi condensation stage, and the dozen or so evil spirits only have the cultivation level of the foundation establishment stage. Therefore, when faced with the golden sword energy that reached the peak of the 6th level of the Foundation establishment stage, 36 ghosts and 7 evil spirits were directly obliterated, and the remaining ghosts and evil spirits also suffered heavy losses. Good. Seeing that the golden armor giant easily wiped out nearly 2/3 of the monsters with just one sword move, some teachers and students at the scene couldn't help but look happy. However, facing the demise of a large number of their accomplices, the 8 huge demon spirits not only showed no fear at all, but instead burned with angry flames in their eyes. Ugh! A giant green wolf that had reached the early stage of the 5th level of the Foundation establishment stage and was about 4 meters tall roared to the sky angrily, then turned into a gust of wind and rushed towards the golden armor giant. Although Qing Lang's cultivation level was slightly inferior, but with his speed as fast as the wind and his cunning and changeable attack methods, the golden armor giant was completely at a disadvantage. If it weren't for the powerful defensive power of the golden armor, the golden armor giant would have died in Green Wolf's third claw attack. Seeing that the Green Wolf had the upper hand, the remaining 7 demon spirits, ghosts, and evil spirits looked directly at the teachers and students standing in front of the teaching building. Squeak! Without too much delay, a giant 8-legged black spider suddenly jumped up and spit out a white silk web, directly covering a dozen young and beautiful female students. Puff! However, at the moment when the white silk screen was unfolded, a sharp golden sword energy directly cut through the silk screen. Then, a golden giant in armor and holding a long sword walked out of the flagpole, and then fought with the 8-legged black spider. Seeing the second golden giant walking out of the flagpole, the remaining 6 demons looked directly at the flagpole. Because they had a vague feeling that there might be another golden giant hidden in the flagpole. After looking at each other, a pig demon with ferocious fangs suddenly accelerated and rushed towards the flagpole, intending to directly destroy the flagpole where the golden giant was condensed. However, when the pig demon was 9 meters away from the flagpole, a golden sword energy suddenly shot out from the flagpole, causing the pig demon to stop the impact. Then, the third golden giant walked out of the flagpole and fought with the pig demon. The golden giants condensed one after another in the flagpole, which prevented the remaining 5 demons from acting rashly, and also made the traumatized ghosts and evil spirits subconsciously retreat for a while. But at this moment, a very piercing scream suddenly came from the position of the teacher's apartment. Cry! Accompanied by the deafening scream, the 5 demons with a look of fear in their eyes immediately roared and rushed towards the flagpole, while the evil spirits and evil spirits rushed towards the hundreds of teachers and students standing behind the flagpole. Shua, shua, shua. Accompanied by 6 sharp golden sword chi, whether it was the 5 demons that stood up with a roar, or the evil spirits and evil spirits that rushed towards the teachers and students in fear, they were all blocked in front of the flagpole by the sword chi. Then, 6 identical golden armor giants came out from the flagpole one after another and fought with the 5 demons, evil spirits, and evil spirits. Except for the blue wolf, gray fox, and goshawk, which had the advantage of speed and could barely occupy a certain advantage, the remaining demons, evil spirits, and evil spirits were killed or injured in the pursuit of the 6 golden armor giants. The Best Physiognomist. Author, Yan Yun Yuchi. Chapter 612. In front of the teaching building of Yukai School. Just as the 6th golden armor giant successfully wiped out all the evil spirits and was about to assist the 1st golden armor giant to kill the blue wolf who had the speed advantage, a black hair suddenly shot out from the teacher's apartment. The fast-shooting black hair directly entangled the 6th golden armor giant, and then contracted vigorously, and finally entangled the golden armor giant with strong defense into pieces. The black hair that easily wiped out the 6th golden armor giant, stretched out again, and aimed directly at the 1st golden armor giant who was at a disadvantage, and then used the same method to wipe out the 1st golden armor giant. Next, with the help of the black hair and the blue wolf, the remaining 7 golden armor giants were also killed quickly, which made the faces of hundreds of teachers and students in front of the teaching building pale as paper in an instant. After dealing with all the golden armor giants, the black hair directly entangled the flagpole, and the 8 demons rushed towards hundreds of teachers and students. Just as the fastest blue wolf rushed to a teacher who was willing to stand in front of the students and opened his bloody mouth to enjoy the delicious food, a grey sword energy fell from the sky and directly cut the blue wolf in half. Then, a deafening pure dragon roar sounded. Ah! Accompanied by the pure dragon roar, a white dragon with a body length of more than 100 meters rushed towards the 7 demons as fast as lightning. A dragon's tail swing directly beat the 8-legged black spider, tusk pig demon, goshawk, and ground rat into countless pieces of meat. At the same time, 3 grey sword energies directly wiped out the remaining 3 demons. It's him, it's him, it's him. When seeing the white dragon and the boy falling from the sky, he Dongjian, the monitor of Class 7 of Senior 3, shouted excitedly. After hearing He Dongjian's reminder, Gu Yingying's eyes immediately turned to the boy who looked ordinary but had outstanding temperament standing on the dragon's head, and a strange look gradually appeared in his eyes. After sweeping his eyes over He Jiandong, who identified himself, Zhang Fengjai nodded in response, and then his eyes went directly to the black hair that was entangled with the broken flagpole, and his face gradually became solemn. With just a strand of black hair, he could easily wipe out 9 golden armor giants who had reached the peak of the 6th level of the foundation building period. This was enough to show that the owner of the black hair had at least the strength of the virtual pill realm. Now the only thing that was uncertain was whether the owner of the black hair had the strength of the virtual pill realm and whether he had the strength to fight against the other party. Facing the sudden appearance of Zhang Fengjai and the white dragon, the black hair that was entangled with the broken flagpole automatically burned. As the black hair burned, a woman with peerless beauty gradually emerged from the flames. Hey, isn't this Ding Huiwei, the head of the logistics department? Seeing the stunning beauty emerging from the burning flames of black hair, many teachers and students at the scene showed doubtful looks in their eyes. Who are you? Ignoring the discussion of the teachers and students on the scene, Ding Huiwei, whose hair was flaming, asked with a cold expression. Who I am is not important. What is important is why you invaded the campus and why you hurt these innocent people. After ordering the white dragon to wipe out the evil ghosts, fang ghosts, evil spirits, and demons, Zhang Fengjai, who jumped off the dragon head, asked back with a cold expression. Aren't you afraid of attracting the attention of the strong in the Taoist sect and the demon clan? Facing Zhang Fengjai's questioning, Ding Huiwei's eyes flashed with a sneer of disdain, and she stretched out her slender white jade finger. Then, a sharp force went straight to his brow. In response, Zhang Fengjai's expression did not change at all and he also sent out a finger force, easily dissolving Ding Huiwei's attack. Although it was just an illusionary clone condensed by the hair, the fusion of a trace of thought and a drop of blood made this illusionary clone have the strength of the 9th level of the foundation building period. The finger technique that seemed to be performed casually just now was actually an attack she had carefully prepared. The power of the finger technique formed by the force also reached the peak of the 8th level of the foundation building period. Although the young man in front of him had the cultivation of the 9th level of the foundation building period, his counter-attack just now did not mobilize the spiritual power of the Danshan. In this case, he could easily dissolve his attack, which made Ding Huiwei's face solemn instantly. Transform. After taking a deep breath, Ding Huiwei calmed down her slightly surprised emotions, and her 10 slender jade fingers quickly condensed marks, and then one after another, charming and beautiful women appeared around Zhang Fengjai. Looking at the 9 stunning beauties exuding fatal temptation, whether it was a male teacher who had already established a family or a student in adolescence, they suddenly felt dry mouth and uncontrollable desire in their eyes. After nearly 100 years of experience of Yin Long, his experience, vision and state of mind have been greatly improved. In his eyes, the 9 stunning beauties transformed by Ding Huiwei have become 9 red-faced skeletons without the slightest temptation. He mobilized the grey energy of his Danshan to form a sharp sword. With a few sword moves, he broke through the 9 beautiful beauties and slashed directly at Ding Huiwei floating in the air. He never thought that Zhang Fengjai would be able to break the illusion so easily and quickly. Ding Huiwei, who did not make any defense, was directly killed by the invisible sword energy. There is still a deadly danger in the school. You should leave here as soon as possible. After successfully killing Ding Huiwei, who was transformed by beautiful hair, Zhang Fengjai turned his head to look at the teacher's apartment 100 meters away, and then instructed the dozen teachers in front of the teaching building. Then, he used the Qingfeng step to go straight to the teacher's apartment. Go, go. Even though the teachers and students were very interested in the numerous ghosts and monsters in the school, the thrilling experience made them run to the door and join Yang Guozheng and others who arrived first. Zhang Fengjai used the speed of Qingfeng step to the fullest, and it took him less than 2 seconds to arrive in front of apartment number 1. Looking at the deep pit that suddenly appeared in front of the apartment building, he showed a puzzled look in his eyes. At the beginning, when he arranged the means of defense, he went to the teacher's apartment specifically and knew that there was no deep pit in front of apartment number 1. At the same time, according to the hairbreadth he had just intercepted, he found that the evil spirit that transformed into Ding Huiwei had entered the deep pit. He looked up at the yin qi, evil spirit, and blood energy gathered above the school and found that the concentration was getting lighter and lighter, and he knew that the supernatural creatures that invaded the school were almost surrounded and wiped out by the white dragon. After withdrawing his attention from the yin qi, the evil spirit, and the bloody qi, he looked at the bottomless pit with a hint of hesitation in his eyes. Because he was not sure how strong the evil spirit that occupied Ding Huiwei's body was, he was worried that he would encounter danger in the deep pit. However, when a slight yin qi blew out of the deep pit, the hesitation in his eyes was instantly replaced by excitement, and he rushed into the deep pit without hesitation. Because that familiar yin qi was exactly the same as the yin evil breath cultivated by the evil dragon, which meant that the treasure left by the evil dragon might be hidden in the deep pit. With the strength of the Void Dan period, he had the ability to stay in the air for a short time. Under the advance observation of the Divine Mind, when he was less than 20 meters away from the ground, he immediately mobilized the gray energy of the Danshan to control his body, and finally stayed steadily on the ground. After watching the passage that was originally deep underground begin to bend towards the east, Zhang Fengjai tightly grasped the sharp sword and mobilized his mind to continue to go deeper. After walking nearly 100 meters, he suddenly stopped and gathered his breath when he saw the milky white light and Ding Huiwei exuding a strong aura in his mind, and then quietly approached the end of the passage. According to the records left by the ancestors of the evil spirit, the cave of the strong man who provoked the war between the dragon clan and the demon clan should be here. Looking at the milky white stone door, the evil spirit, who used Ding Huiwei's human skin to transform into a human, frowned and muttered to himself. But why can't the key left by the ancestors open the door? Hearing the evil spirit's mumbling and looking at the dragon-shaped key in the hands of the evil spirit, Zhang Fengjai's eyes showed ecstasy. According to the memory of the evil dragon, there are 2 ways to open the treasure he left behind. The first way is to use a specially made dragon-shaped key in combination with his own secret method. The second way is to use the yin dragon's blood essence to weaken part of the defense of the treasure gate in advance, and then use the powerful strength of the Jindan period to attack the treasure gate for 49 days in succession. Considering that Yin Long did not have the specific whereabouts of the dragon-shaped key in his memory, Zhang Fengjai planned to use the second method to open the treasure door, but it would take him a long time. After all, his current cultivation level is only at the peak of the 9th level of the foundation building period, and it will take at least 2 to 3 years to break through the golden elixir period. Now, the evil spirit not only helped him find the treasure left by Yin Long, but also had the key to open the treasure in his hand. How could he not feel ecstatic? However, he did not act rashly to rob it, because the evil spirit that occupied Ding Huiwei's body gave him an unmatched feeling, so he was more cautious and restrained his breath while silently waiting for the opportunity. Could it be that we have to use the means speculated by our ancestors to blast open the treasure door with brute force? The doubt in the eyes of the evil spirit was replaced by determination. After putting away the dragon-shaped key in his hand, he began to use his strength infinitely close to the golden elixir period to bombard the treasure door with all his strength. Seeing the evil spirit attacking the south treasure gate with all his strength, Zhang Fengjai, who had a glimmer of joy in his eyes, quietly took out the mountain-shaking talisman given by his third grandfather and waited for the best time to attack. The evil spirit, who didn't care about the consumption of spiritual power, sat down with a slightly pale face after 18 consecutive attacks, intending to recover the 80% of spiritual power just consumed before continuing to attack the treasure gate. But at this moment, a roar suddenly came from behind her. "Shake the sky and shake the earth." Accompanied by the roar, a giant mountain appeared out of thin air and rushed straight to the evil spirit sitting cross-legged in front of the treasure gate. Looking at the giant mountain transformed by the talisman, the evil spirit sneered disdainfully, stretched out his slender white jade hand, and then slapped a palm technique. However, the palm technique, which reached the peak of the third level of the void pill stage, not only did not break the giant mountain that was smashed, but also did not change the attack speed of the giant mountain. This made the evil spirit couldn't help but change his face and quickly got up to avoid it. But just as he was about to use the secret method to leave, he found that his breath had long been locked by the giant mountain. Even if he escaped to the edge of the mountain, he could not avoid the attack of the giant mountain. This forced the evil spirit to choose to overdraw its potential to improve its strength. Boom! With 70% of the overdrawn potential, the evil spirit successfully resisted the bombardment of the giant mountain, but the heavy damage she suffered also caused her strength to drop directly to the foundation building stage. Just as the evil spirit was about to take a breath and then deal with the sneak attacker just now, the sneak attacker's roar came to her ears again. "The stars are moving." When the evil spirit saw the grey sword energy coming at him rapidly and felt that the power contained in the grey sword energy reached the peak of the 5th level of the void pill stage, a look of despair flashed in his eyes. Puff. In the end, the sword technique that overdrafted his own potential and the grey energy of the Danshan successfully wiped out the evil spirit's soul. Without too much delay, he quickly took out the dragon-shaped key from the evil spirit, and then with the secret method in the evil dragon's memory, he successfully opened the treasure left by the evil dragon in the Middle Ages. When the door of the treasure slowly opened, the rich spiritual energy sprayed from the treasure made Zhang Fengjai, who was not bound by realm and physique, improve his cultivation and strength at a rocket-like speed. Although the rich and refined spiritual energy is very precious, it cannot be compared with the elixirs and rare treasures in the treasure, so after forcibly suppressing the urge to use the spiritual energy to improve his cultivation, he stepped through the door and entered the treasure. 3 hours later, Zhang Fengjai, who left the treasure, looked at an ancient ring on his finger, and his eyes revealed an irrepressible joy. Because the treasures left by the evil dragon are not only free of any danger, but also contain many treasures that are not in his memory. For example, the storage ring in his hand has more than 10,000 cubic meters. For example, more than 1,000 Taoist instruments, immortal instruments, and divine instruments. For example, hundreds of mental methods that can be cultivated into immortals, powerful skills, and secret methods. For example, nearly 100 kinds of elixirs, spiritual herbs, spiritual fruits, and spiritual flowers that can greatly improve cultivation and strength, etc. At this moment, the treasures stored in the storage ring on his finger are enough to assist himself, his 3 grandfathers, his 4 lovers, and finally break through the dilemma of life and death and become immortals. Looking up at the slowly closing treasure door, Zhang Fengjai, who took back the dragon-shaped key, mobilized the grey energy of Danshan to condense a sharp sword, and then began to attack the surrounding passages. Because there are so many treasures in the treasure, and the storage ring has only taken less than 1% of the treasures, he does not want the treasure left by Yin Long to be discovered by others. After destroying the passage leading to the treasure, Zhang Fengjai went straight to Yang Guozheng, who was cleaning up the mess, and through Yang Guozheng found Secretary Sun, and then bought the entire UKI campus with a promise and a price of 1 billion. Then, he took Solitsi, Zhuang Jian, Shen Loxi and Xiao Yuxuan back to the Zhang family in Shushan, and then used the treasures he had obtained to fully improve the cultivation of his relatives and loved ones.